In today's video, I'm bringing you 4 brand new crockpot recipes. Coming into the new school year, when all the things are about to start again, I know you're probably looking for some easy recipes. I have you covered. These recipes in today's video are some really delicious ones. I have no doubt these are gonna end up on your dinner rotation. Let's just get cooking, y'all. Okay, if you love Salisbury steak but don't want to do all of that work on a regular busy weeknight, you have to give these Salisbury steak meatballs a try. It makes the most delicious gravy. Serve these over mashed potatoes or rice and dinner is done. So we're going to start our Salisbury steak meatballs by making our sauce first. And I'm just going to make it right in the crock pot, that way we can whisk everything together, and then we're going to add our meatballs to that. So first, I'm just adding about 4 cups of low sodium beef broth. All right, next to our sauce, we're going to add just 1 packet of the beefy onion Lipton soup mix. Sprinkle that right in. Then next we're going to add 1 packet of the brown gravy mix, and this is the low sodium version. All right, next we're just going to go in with some tomato paste, and we're just going to add about 2 tablespoons to our sauce. Okay. All right, next we're going to go in with some Dijon mustard. We're only going to use about a teaspoon to this. A tiny little bit will be good. Okay. And last but not least, to our sauce, we're just going to add about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Next, I'm just going to get my whisk, and I'm going to whisk everything together. For our meatballs, of course, if you want to make homemade meatballs, you can. But for the sake of being easy, I just bought a bag of frozen home-style meatballs. And for this recipe, this is the 32-ounce bag. If you want the family style or the big value bag, then I would just kind of double the rest of the ingredients as well. All right, I'm just going to kind of carefully dump these in. All right, I'm just going to kind of stir them down into my sauce. Get them all down in there. There we go. I'm going to grab my lid, and I'm going to cook mine on high for probably about 3 hours. You can also do these on low, anywhere from probably 5 hours. I don't think it would take more than that. Probably about 5 hours on low, because they're already cooked. You're basically just heating up your meatballs. All right, our meatballs are done. I'm going to go ahead and gently kind of give them a stir, and they look delicious. They smell delicious. And they taste really good. I did go ahead and taste one. We have a lot of gravy in there, but we're going to thicken that up just a little bit. So I just have a cornstarch slurry right here. It's just 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. We're just going to pour that over. You don't have to add this if you don't want to. I just want to thicken that gravy up just a little bit. And I do have my crock pot on warm. And gently give them another little stir. And just let them sit here for just a couple minutes while I finish up our mashed potatoes and let our gravy thicken up just a little bit. And we'll see if I need to add any more. I can. You can just keep adding it until it gets as thick as you want. It will thicken up just a little bit as it sits though. We just served ours over some mashed potatoes. These meatballs were super delicious. They make a ton. You can thicken up your gravy a little bit more if you want to, but these are perfect. Make for an easy, cozy, comforting meal, and I'll have the whole recipe down in the description box. Next up, we have this chicken enchilada casserole. We made this a few months ago when we moved in, and y'all, it is so good. I could not wait to make it again. It has all your flavors of chicken enchiladas with a fraction of the work. This one is so good. I actually made this a few months ago when we moved into the house. I shared it on Instagram and TikTok, but not here, and I could not wait to make this again, and I'm just now getting around to it. So to our slow cooker, we're just gonna add 2 chicken breasts. You can add 3 if yours are smaller. Mine are pretty big, So we're just gonna add 2. All right, next right on top of our chicken, we're just gonna sprinkle 1 packet of taco seasoning. Next on top of our chicken, we're just gonna add 1 can of Rotel. I'm gonna spread my Rotel out just a tiny bit. And last but not least, we're gonna add 1 28-ounce can of red enchilada sauce. Just gonna pour that on top of everything. And that is it. We're just gonna cover this. I'm gonna cook mine on high for about 4 hours. You can do low 5 to 6, just until that chicken is nice and cooked through and tender. We're gonna shred it up and add a couple more ingredients at the end. It's gonna be cheesy and melty and just so, so good. All right, our chicken is nice and tender. I'm just gonna take some forks and kind of break it up in the sauce. You can take it out and shred it up if you want to, but I just shred mine up right here in the crock pot. Next, we're just gonna add in some cheese. I'm gonna use a little bit of Mexican blend cheese, as well as the quesadilla style cheese. This is just that cheese that's really melty when you go to a Mexican restaurant. The cheese literally in your quesadilla, this is the kind of stuff they use. Just gonna take my fork and stir in all the cheese. All right, next I have some corn tortillas. You can use flour. I just really prefer to use the white corn for this recipe. I'm gonna take about 8 to 10 of these, and I'm just gonna cut them just like a pie into 6 pieces. So I actually cut them into 8s. It really doesn't matter. You could even do 4s, but I told Darren that is so satisfying to cut these, and then I got carried away and did them into 8s. All right, now all we're gonna do is take our little tortilla pieces and just kind of place them all around. And last time I made this, I think I used 8 of the little tortillas. This time I went ahead and used 10 because I remembered that it could use more. I just really love the tortillas in it. And of course they will be soft, just like when you have, you know, regular enchilada, but they're chewy and they're just so good. All right, just throw the rest in there. And again, I'm just gonna grab my fork, kind of gently push them down in there with all the chicken and the cheese. And y'all, this would be good anytime. Our family loves these flavors. Anything kind of Mexican-y, if you want to call it that, we love, but this just screams fall also to me. And last but not least, we are gonna turn our slow cooker back on low just for about 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes to let those tortillas soften up a little bit and let our cheese melt. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit more of that cheese right on top. We're gonna pop the lid on and, like I said, put it on low just for about 20 or 30 more minutes. I remember just why we loved this recipe so much. It has all of those delicious enchilada flavors, and this really took no time at all to throw together. You can serve this over rice if you want to. We just served ours up with a little sour cream on top, maybe a few chips on the side if you want to dip it, but this recipe is a good one, and I hope y'all give this one a try. This next recipe is a new one. This is cowboy butter, chicken, and orzo. I saw this on TikTok. It looked absolutely delicious and looked like a brand new crockpot recipe that I needed to try, so we're gonna try it together. All right, so first I'm just adding, this is about 2 chicken breasts that I have already cubed up, just kind of into bite-sized pieces. Get that added in there. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Next, I'm just gonna add about 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. All right, next we're going in with our seasonings, and the first one is this Kinder's cowboy butter. It says with Dijon, butter, and chili. Y'all, this is the first time I've ever used it. I picked it up for this recipe, but I have been seeing so many cowboy butter recipes that I wanna give a try. So make sure you're subscribed because I'm sure we're gonna be using this a whole lot more often. Anyway, so this is our first seasoning we're gonna add. And the first ingredient is salt, so I'm not gonna use too much because we are gonna add some other things as well. That's probably about 1.5 teaspoons, maybe 2 teaspoons worth. Next, I'm just gonna go in with a little sprinkle of chili powder. Next, a sprinkle of paprika. And I am loosely following a recipe I found on TikTok, but I will put my measurements. I think they're a little bit different down below in the description box. I'm gonna add a little bit more garlic powder, because why not? The original recipe called for onion powder. I actually don't have any, so if you wanna add that, you can. A little bit of black pepper. And next we're just gonna add in 2 cups of chicken broth. Just gonna pour it right in. Now I'm just gonna kind of gently stir everything together. And this is just gonna cook about 2.5 to 3 hours on high, or 4 to 5 hours on low. We are gonna come back at the end and add our orzo so it can cook along with everything in the crock pot. But for now, I'm just gonna put mine on high for about 2 or 3 hours. All right, y'all, our chicken has been cooking for about 3 hours on high. I had Darren go ahead and turn it down to low because I was not here. But now I have 1 cup of just dry orzo. We are gonna pour that right into the liquid. I also have about 1 cup of freshly shredded Parmesan cheese. Gonna add that in. Might have a little bit more than a cup. And last but not least, I'm gonna pour in about 1 cup of heavy cream. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn mine back up to high. Let's go ahead and give everything a stir. And basically, I'm just gonna let this cook probably about 40 or 45 more minutes until that orzo is nice and tender and cooked through. And this, I have a feeling, is gonna be so good. I already tasted the chicken and it is delicious. The video of this does not do this recipe justice. Darren and I both agreed this was our favorite crock pot recipe I made this week. Definitely add that lemon and the lemon zest in there. It made it perfect, and I'll definitely be making this again. Last but not least, this is a loaded baked potato warm dip. This could be served as a side dish with a dinner, or I figured with tailgating and football season coming up, you might want to give this one a try. This is absolutely delicious, super easy to throw together, and everybody will love this one. All right, I'm making this recipe in my little 2-quart crock pot. And y'all, I have been so obsessed with this thing lately. Me and the girls went camping a couple weekends ago, and I mean, I made our dinners and everything in this small 2-quart crock pot. It makes just enough, but it's perfect for things like this, like little dips and stuff. So that's what we're using today. So first, to my crock pot, we're just gonna add about 8 ounces of cream cheese. Next, I'm just gonna sprinkle in about 3 tablespoons or 1 packet of our ranch seasoning mix. Next, we're just gonna add in 16 ounces of sour cream. And then we're gonna add about 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. I'm just using medium cheddar. Whatever kind you like is fine. All right, I'm just gonna pop the lid on here. I'm gonna do mine on low for just a couple hours. I probably will come ever so often and just kind of stir everything once that cream cheese starts to melt down a little bit. And we're just gonna add a couple more things at the end, and this is gonna be the most delicious dip. Alrighty, it's been a couple hours. Everything is nice and melted together. Give it a little stir so you can see. It would be delicious just like this. You could literally even just use this as a topping on your baked potatoes. If you were doing a dinner with a baked potato bar or something like that, that would be so perfect. But we are gonna add just some cooked and crumbled bacon. I'm just using this kind just to make it easy. It's really, really good. And we're just gonna sprinkle some in. I found that I don't like to add this when it cooks with everything, like the whole time, just because these bacon pieces tend to kind of, it's almost like they cook their flavor out. So it's best if you just add them right towards the end, and you can just kind of eyeball it. We might add just a little bit more. And you can add some more cheese, you can taste it, see what you need at this point. But like I said, this is perfect. Add on a baked potato. We're gonna serve it up with some potato wedges, tater tots, potato chips. Kind of give a little variety of things. And then just to make it kind of pretty, let's add some cheddar cheese on the top. Crumbles of bacon. That way people know what they're getting into when they open your crock pot. And lastly, you can't have a loaded baked potato without some green onion. Just gonna add a little bit of that right on top. Pop the lid on, let that cheese melt, and this is gonna be so good. Like I said, we served this dip just kind of with a variety of things. Some tater tots, potato wedges, potato chips, but I think our favorite were just the potato chips. And this recipe would be perfect right now for football season, tailgating, anything like that, or just a fun side dish on the weekends. This recipe is also in the description, and I hope you give it a try. If you've made it this far in today's video, leave me a crockpot emoji down there in the comments. I would love to know that you stopped by today. Thank you so much, and I hope that you got a brand new idea or two for the new school year coming up. Let me know your favorite crockpot recipe, and I'll see you real soon in my next video.